How you doing, guys? It's Carl Dean with American Real Estate Investments and AMA International Group. I'm down here at a house we just acquired at the auction. We have a couple options here as far as if we want to wholesale the house as is, make a couple bucks, or we could do a rental flip and make a significant amount more, I guess. However, we do have to hold it a little bit longer in that case. The reason I'm here is because we have a third option with this one, which is we could do a residential retail flip, what I call retail flip rehab, and that is going to be where we do the granite countertops, the whole nine, and really go above and beyond to try to get maximum value for the home on the retail market. There's a couple things I look at here, days on market for the comps in the neighborhood. This area specifically is in Carrollton, Texas, so we're just south of Plano, Frisco. It's a great first-time home buyer market. Houses are usually somewhere around $150,000 to $175,000 in this area, so it's a great market. Sorry about the cars driving by, but we'll just take a walk around. This is going to be a pretty easy video to shoot. I'm just going to walk around like I normally would with any house, just give you my opinion on things that need to be done, and by the end of the video we'll kind of know where we need to go with it. So take a walk. Now, I know the home has a lot of structural damage. You can see, looking at some of the bricks, you'll notice somebody tried to patch a lot of this, but you'll see structural cracks throughout the house. You can go circle the house. I mean, they're pretty much everywhere. A lot of the soffit needs to be replaced, I can see. The roof itself has 2 layers on it, so that's definitely going to need to be replaced. Whether we do retail flip or residential or whatever we do, that's definitely going to be something that needs to be assessed. Take a look around the side here. As you can see, the AC is a little bit older. It's something we'd probably end up definitely replacing. We'd probably have to do some piers on this house, which is something that kind of helps with getting the house back to square. With the foundation cracks and settling, it kind of shifts things. The doors will be a little bit off. There'll be a lot of different things that you'll notice. The garage door, you'll notice, is a little bit off. The entry doors are a little bit off. Even the doors inside the home are a little bit off. And that happens when you have shifting. Another thing that you have to look at with that is plumbing. So all the plumbing on these houses, obviously these are on a slab, so when there's issues with the foundation cracking, that can sometimes collapse drains that are underneath the foundation. Let's take a walk inside and we'll start from there. So the way our company's set up really is we turn and burn a lot of houses. So we do a lot of rehabs, we flip a lot of houses, we do it very, very fast. So the more I look at this house, actually, the less in favor I am of actually doing the rehab. I notice that the windows are definitely going to need to be replaced. A lot of exterior trim work is going to need to be replaced. Every single light in this thing is going to need to be replaced. So what I think about when I see that is, I obviously refinanced the house after I paid for it cash at the auction. So now I have a note. So now I have to pay that note on the house, and while it's not performing, it costs me money. And also it kind of has my rehab guys tied up for at least a month on this thing. So I have to consider all factors when I make my decision. So that's going to be something that I'll just kind of keep looking into as I go through this, but definitely the windows need to be replaced. Let's take a look inside. Okay, so my initial reaction walking into the house, I know we need to drop an electrical light here so we can have something to light up this room. We definitely need to put a header here and remove these dated columns, as well as this is probably the ugliest tile I've ever seen on the floor. So those things all got to go automatically. I'm looking at the rehab budget already, and it's adding up very, very quickly. You can see a lot of these walls have some water damage to them. It's a little scary. I'm going to have to get mold tests. I'm going to have someone probe the walls, make sure they get a mold test inside there and see if we have any issues with that. That's always a major concern when you have water damage in a house. Also, you can see the ceiling has some cracks in it. That's probably from the structural damage with the foundation. Let's keep walking through here. There's a lot of paneling in the house, which is obviously a dated look. We don't want any of that. So this would be the dining room. Also, again, I would have to add another light, so it's more electrical work needing to be done. A lot of these exterior walls, again, I mean, I just, in my opinion, think that they just need new drywall. They're pretty bad. A sand and scrape and a mud job is really not going to cut it here. So we have to do all of this with new drywall. You can see we have this very, very large, dated sliding glass door. As you can see, this thing's 10 foot wide. That's something we would definitely eliminate. All right, so as you can see, the kitchen is really dated behind me. There's not a lot of cabinet space. It's not very modern. It definitely needs to be completely gutted and redone. In doing so, this right here, this whole half of this door wall would be completely eliminated. So I'd get a standard 6-foot door wall and put it more towards the dining room. And then I would just put drywall here, insulate it, and put an exterior wall on the outside to match. And the reason I can do that is still keep this centered and then run the countertops out a little bit more and then even come out so you can have like a little bar sitting area right here. That'll give it a much nicer look. Also, I would definitely remove this soffit. It just dates the kitchen. It kind of keeps the kitchen small, so when people look at the kitchen, they look at it based on this square here with going out right here. Obviously, I'd have to get rid of this. And we'd go with 30-inch cabinets with a crown molding, whether it's a retail flip, whether it's a rental flip, or whatever. That would be definitely the route I would take. I would keep the range where it's at. I would probably keep the refrigerator where it's at, and then add some new cabinets over here. We can't really do much in the garage right now. It's pretty dark in there. I do know that there's some drywall that needs to be replaced. The garage door needs to be replaced, definitely the opener, so it's got an extensive amount of work in there as well. You can tell here as you look at the windows, again, the windows are in pretty rough shape. Definitely need some new trim around them, new casing, and just all new windows. So let's keep walking through here. All the doors in the house are definitely going to need to be replaced. They're all flat panel doors, so we're going to go with a newer 6-panel look no matter what we do with the house. Obviously, we're just going to get rid of this security system. I doubt that it works, honestly. New lights throughout again. The door here, let's see if this door closes, because this is a 6-panel door I could keep. It does close. The casing's not that bad. You can see the stress crack up here, but you know, it really doesn't affect this door much. This is something I could probably keep as long as there's not a hole on the other side. I just locked myself out, there we go. Now you can't really see too much in the bathroom here, but it is a full bathroom. There's a tub over here. We'd need to redo the tile. We definitely need a new toilet, new vanity, the whole nine. So this is a pretty extensive rehab that we have on our hands. So I question myself whether or not I really want to go through with doing the whole thing or just simply retailing it and moving on to some other projects. As you can see, there's a 6-panel door here, not in great shape. It's got some bumps and bruises, but I think that it's salvageable. Obviously, we need some door stops to avoid some of these holes behind the door like we have here. So this would be, I think, the master bedroom. And the tile, again, is some of the ugliest stuff I've ever seen. Pretty thick grout lines, look like a 1/4 inch. Not a very common thing unless you're using a stone. Most guys will do a 1/4 inch grout line with some stone. It gives it a good look, but when you're talking about ceramic or porcelain tile, it's not really a good look. You can see some of the stress cracks here from the foundation, just going through the house. Oh, here's some fun stuff. So when you got water leaks, you're gonna have mold and mildew grow. If I was to wholesale this house, that's something that I'm gonna have to take care of immediately. So the last thing I wanna do is list it and then have somebody come back and try to beat me up on my price because of the mold they found. So that's something that I'll remediate. I was a mold specialist for a company for a long time actually, so it's something I'm familiar with, which we would just have to tear out all the affected contents, materials, different stuff, and then we would have to hit it with an antimicrobial, make sure we scrub it good, make sure we set the dehumidifiers in here, dry it out properly. It's a little bit of a process in itself. So, but it's worth it to not get beat up on your price. You know, when I set something on the market, I like to get what I'm asking and not do too much negotiation. I just want to move on to the next project. You can see there's also some stress cracks here in the ceiling. And we got a master bathroom here, which is pretty horrendous, honestly. I can see there's some mold down here underneath the shower, probably just from getting in and out of the shower. There's not a door here. Actually, there is a door. I can see it now. It's a little tucked back there. Toilet definitely needs to be replaced. The vanity definitely needs to be replaced. I'm in some pretty rough shape. Vanity light. So this is pretty much a full gut. I mean, we got a pretty bad stress crack here. A little bit more mildew buildup. Obviously need a window. So moving on, I guess. All right, so here we are in what I would call the second bedroom, or the green bedroom, you could call it. I guess we're trying to note things on the estimate and try to figure out so I know what room they're talking about. I would definitely call this the green room if I was putting stuff into an estimate. The 6-panel door looks like it's in decent shape. Again, some cuts and scrapes and bruises. I think we could salvage it, but does it shut or not? I'm not sure. I have to play with it. You can see there's plugs in here, so it's adequate. You got a light in here, which the light is on, so apparently we do have some electricity here. The electrical box is here in the closet, which is something I would honestly probably relocate. I put it in the garage. The electrical box for me is safer in the garage. Obviously, I don't like the electrical box where you could have a fire hazard where my kids' clothes might be. Again, with the window, we need to replace the window. You know, the drop down texture on these walls, again, if you take a closer look, it's pretty terrible. I mean, it's pretty terrible. They've gone over it, looks like hundreds of times. So, you know, we might need to gut this entire thing or do a new drop down, you know, to give it a better texture, more consistent. You can see they've had a lot of patched holes. This house it's been through some trials and tribulations for sure. Again, with the tile, you know, that's a massive project in itself. Tearing out all this tile, there's tile in every single room. It's all different colors, so it's not salvageable. That in itself, again, is just a massive project. So this is something that I keep looking at and going back to time frame. You know, how long is this going to take my guy? He could be doing 3 houses, or one of my crews could be doing 3 houses in a month. Whereas here, you're going to be here for at least a month doing this rehab. So, you know, it slows down the process. I got to pay the note on it, you know, and it ties up my guys. So I got to consider these things. And honestly, so far I'm looking at it like we might just want to retail or wholesale it as fast as we can and sell it to another investor who maybe specializes in doing more of these flips. For me, it's not looking like there's going to be enough profit in the deal. Based on the time, you know, if it was something I could sell for a little bit higher, then maybe, but we're talking low numbers here. So if I can get $5 grand less for wholesaling it right now, that's a no-brainer for me. So we'll walk into the next bedroom. And here we are in the blue room, which, yeah, I don't really know what to say about it. It's, again, pretty rough. Different color tile. It's pretty unique in here. The blue is going to be a hard color to cover up. It's going to take a lot of stain blocker again. We might just be better off doing all new drywall. You got to think about how many coats of stain block is going to take to get over these colors. It's not going to be easy. And then you got lumps in the wall here where it looks like they had some kind of water damage and they try to cover it up. Looks like they just slapped maybe some tape on it and just put a bunch of mud on there. Obviously it was done by, I would say, probably a homeowner with not a lot of experience. It's what I call the Home Depot special there. Same thing here, you can actually see the tape. The funny part is, I don't even know if it's drywall tape. It looks like masking tape, but you got some water damage up in here. Definitely needs to be taken care of. Definitely need a new window. It's pretty expensive. It's pretty expensive in here, guys. I'm not sure we're gonna do this one. I just think it's gonna be a little too much. Closet here, nothing major, no electrical boxes. Obviously there was one in the other room. So let's take a look at the rest of the house. All right, guys, so this is clearly a smaller house. We didn't need to spend a lot of time inside. I kind of walked through the rooms pretty quickly there. So I'm out here on the outside now. You can see now this glass door here is just gigantic. So it's a little unneeded, a little unnecessary. This is a very unique thing to me. I haven't seen this in a lot of houses ever in my entire life, and I've done thousands of homes. This is part of the kitchen, and where you had the kitchen sink right here, they have a bar where you could kind of sit outside, open this window, and serve drinks, it's actually a really gnarly idea, I guess. But at the same time, it's something that really dates the house to me, so I would for sure remove this. I would for sure have to remove this board. As you can see, it's like a panel board, OSB type board. It's very absorbent of moisture. You can see there's some mold damage there. That would definitely have to be taken out. The soffits, again, little damaged, you know, they got holes all throughout them. There's a unique set of reindeer antlers here behind me, which is kind of cool, but not really. Here's some soffit damage also as well. You can see it's like an OSB, very, you know, water absorbent material there, so it's going to absorb a lot of moisture. There's no gutters on the house, so there's nothing to get the water away from the house. It just kind of falls, trickles, and sits where it sits. Let's just walk over this way. Again, this board I think would definitely have to be replaced all throughout the house. There's a lot of it around the house. It's just, well, number one, you can't have any peeling paint. The house is an older house, so there's a lead kind of code that you have to go by. Make sure if there's any peeling paint, you have to paint over it. Make sure there's nothing peeling off that a child could grab and eat. It's definitely something I would recommend not doing. You can see some more cracks throughout the foundation. Some really low grade here, where you can see the concrete where the house was built, where the foundation is. You can see almost where it's not even smoothed out, where that should be under the dirt. In all cases, that should always be under the dirt. You can see the pretty good stretch crack over here on the corner of the foundation, and then it comes up and goes over. So the house has had a lot of shifting, a lot of movement. You can even see this one brick here. It's kind of just brings the window off of the wall a little bit. So it's pretty extensive damage. You know, I definitely think that it's something my guys could handle, but I don't know if it's necessarily something I want them to do. There's a couple things I'm going to consider here. I'm going to consider the demand for my properties right now. So a lot of the hedge funds and REITs, I'll kind of see their appetite. Let's walk over here a little bit more. I'm going to look at a lot of different factors here. So I'm going to look at, you know, the demand for my properties right now is X, and the stock that I hold is Y. Do I have enough inventory right now to supply the people that I need to supply on a monthly basis? Yes. So given that, I think that this is going to be something I'm definitely going to have my hand in the air to pass on. The good part is we bought it at auction. We're very aggressive at auction. We go down there with cash, obviously. We bid on a lot of different homes. Sometimes we get them, sometimes we don't. We got this one for a decent price where I could list it and give it to a wholesaler, and they could probably definitely make their money on it, and I could still make a couple dollars on it myself and not have to deal with the headache. So a little bit outside of my norm and a little bit more extensive than I really want to do right now at this current time. And you know, if I needed more inventory, more houses, and they were beating down my door, I would probably do the deal. But at the same time, I just really don't need the inventory that bad. I'm sitting, you know, on 40 or 50 houses at any given time here in Texas. And this is one that I think is just a little bit more extensive than I really want to get into for just as much money or return as I would on any of the other houses that are 2-week rehab. So sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you can kind of get out without getting too badly damaged. So that's going to be it, I guess. Tune in to the website to see what we're going to do with it. I guess I'll make my final decision after I meet with the partners. Website's www.areiusa.com. And I'll make sure to post something on the blog to let you guys know what we're going to do with it, what the final decision is. Until next time, see ya.